Okay, so now let's start with our third loading animation. Let's create new composition. We are going to call it as main animation. Width is 1920, height is 180, frame rate let's choose 30 second, and I think duration is also 30 second, and background color is white color, and simply hit OK. Then go to choose grid and guide option and simply hit on title selection. Then press Ctrl N to create another composition. I'm going to name it as, let's say, circle, and width is 1920 and height is 180, frame rate is 30 and duration is 30 second. But over here width we are going to choose 500 and height also 500 and simply hit OK. Then we will select our ellipse tool, and for the fill I'm going to choose not completely white but little bit grayish color. Simply hit OK and double click to create one ellipse. Now select this ellipse and hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. Go to the fill options and choose black color and hit OK. Press S and let's make this 90, or instead of 90 let's make this 95, or I think 90 looks good to me. Hit U. Then we will choose rectangle tool and simply double click to create one rectangle. This is going to be our mask, so I'll select this, hit enter, and let's call it as mask. Press S for scaling option, unlink this, and let's increase the size from here and increase the size from here, and select the second layer and choose alpha mask. Now select this mask and press V and simply bring this downwards like this. But before that, let's select this, go to the effect and presets panel, and we are going to search for turbulence displace effect to apply like this, and alt click on this evolution tab and tap time star 80 like this and hit U. Select this mask, go to the effect and presets panel and search for wave warp effect and simply double click to apply, and increase the wave width somewhere around like okay. So width is, let's say, 150, and now if I see this I'll get this kind of animation. Now let's select the shape layer or select this mask layer, press P for position, let's bring this downwards, create one keyframe at position, go to around 2 seconds, and we will bring this mask from here to here, which means it's going to complete it. So if I see this animation I'll get something like this, or if you want then you can bring this up to 3 seconds also, so you will get something like this. Okay, then let's select both the layers and press Ctrl Shift C, and we are going to call it as fill and hit OK. Now select this, go to the effect and presets panel, or instead of that what you can do, you can select this and hit Ctrl D. Let's select this one and let's bring this to 20 frames and simply move this over here. Select this first layer, press T for opacity and decrease the opacity, so you will get something like this. Okay, so let's do one thing, we will bring this up to this one. So if I see this I'll get this kind of completing animation over here. Now let's go to the main animation and hit Ctrl 0, and we will bring our circle over here. Let's bring this circle and let's bring this over here. Zoom in a little bit and make sure the edge of this should touch this line like this. Then select this circle, hit Ctrl D, and let's bring this up to this like this. Okay, let's make this fill. Now over here, as you guys can see, this is going to fill up, so I'm going to go on the circle and I'll select this and I'll hit Ctrl D. So go over here and by holding Alt I'm going to replace this one. Now go inside this. Now select this fill and select this fill, hit Ctrl D, select both the fills, and by holding Alt I'm going to replace them over here. Now we will go inside this, I'll hit U and I'll select those keyframe, I'll right click keyframe assistance, time reverse keyframes. Okay, so if I see over here I'll get something like this. But what we are going to do over here, I'll select this fill over here and I'll move this over here. I'll go to the 5 frames, I'll select this fill and I'll move this over here. So if I see this animation I'll get something like this. And if I go to main animation now and if I see, I'm gonna get this kind of animation. Okay, like this. Now over here we need filling animation, so for that I'm going to choose pen tool, and from here to here I'm going to create one stroke, and for this one I'm going to choose black color, and let's delete this stroke, we don't need that, like this. Okay, let's select the shape layer, let's go to the add menu and we are going to choose trim path, go to the trim path and let's make this value initially 0, go to the start, create keyframe, hit page down button 2 to 3 times, and let's make this 100. So we'll get something like this. Then at this point I'll select those keyframes, or instead of that, create one keyframe at start, hit page down button 2 times, and let's make this 100 like this. Let's bring this, sorry, zoom in a little bit. Let's bring this a little bit forward. So if I see this animation now, I'll get something like this. If you want, then you can bring this a little bit forward like this. Okay, then hit U, right click new and create one null object. Select all of them and make it apparent with this null. So if I see this animation now, I'll get this like this. Let's select this and hit U. And then let's go over here, select this null object, press R for rotation, create one keyframe, go somewhere around over here, and let's make this 180. And select those rotation keyframes and hit F9. Go to the graph editor, select this graph. By holding shift, move this handle over here and move this handle over here. So if I see this animation, I'll get this kind of stuff. Then at this point I'll hit N. So I'm going to get this animation again. Then select this null object, press S, and let's decrease the size of it like this. Okay, now another thing we need to do over here, let's go to the circle of this one, select the shape layer and hit Ctrl D, and over here let's delete this fill, we don't need that. And we are going to add black color for the stroke, and stroke width we are going to choose, let's say 2 maybe. Go to the add menu over here and go to the trim path, and let's make this 50 over here and 50 over here. So if I see this animation at this point, I'll create one keyframe at start and one keyframe at end, then zoom in a little bit, and whenever this animation is going to complete, which means somewhere around this point, I'll make this 0 and I'll make this start value 100. So if I see this stuff now, I'll get something like fill. And if I see this animation over here, I'm getting this one. And press F4 and enable this icon, so we will get complete stroke. And if you want, then you can select this and you can increase the stroke width of this ones also like this. Okay, and then because they are going to convert it over here, so we need this animation over here also. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the shape layer, go to the circle tool, and over here hit Ctrl V, hit U. Sorry, I have copied the wrong one. Let's select this ellipse, hit Ctrl C, go over here and hit Ctrl V. We have this over here. Now over here I'm going to select this keyframes, right click, keyframe assistance and time reverse keyframes, and let's see over here what we will get. We are going to get something like this. Okay, so we will get this kind of animation. So this is how you can create this kind of also loading animation inside of After Effects.